Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we're gonna have ourselves a 1v1 on Crossroads. Our heroes today are going to be Siberian, playing as the OKW forces in the blue. And his opponent is going to be Arnolaz, playing as the UKF, or the British forces, in the red. So Siberian, we haven't seen him in a while. Not sure if he's the same guy. I'm pretty sure he is, but oh well. Anyways, so should be interesting. Let's take a look at what's going on here. We see Arnolaz getting himself an infantry section, like you would normally expect, but then following it up with the universal carrier, so early aggression with that. We'll see how it works out. Siberian, for his part, is getting himself Volks and more Volks because you are the OKW and you want Volks. And for now, it's just capturing over on the left-hand side. So no engagements. We do see sandbags getting laid down for the infantry sections as they capture territory. Early engagement here. Siberian popping inside that wooden house in the center, getting Storm Pios chasing the infantry section. Now, since they are out in the open, the infantry section will be taking more damage here if they stop and shoot. So they need to move into a position where they have a little bit of assistance, and with the second infantry section right there, setting itself up in cover, the Storm Pios quickly turn around and have the GTFO. Universal Carrier coming up on the flank, forcing the retreat of the squad very quickly, and away they go. Volks Grenadiers going to be popping themselves inside the house, but again, there is only one window in this direction. So the Universal Carrier doesn't really have much to worry about, and it can dish out a lot of damage to the one guy inside, and slowly but steadily take out the squad, because it is the single entity that's actually taking the damage. So even though the squad itself, you know, still pretty healthy, it will lose that one man, and then proceed to the next one. So anyways, so that happens. Siberian going to be taking up a little bit here, and we see the Vickers machine gun coming into play for Arnolaz right now. We'll see where he positions that, but for now he's trying to flush out that Volks Grenadier squad, which again is actually taking quite a bit of damage. It looks like damage is actually going through on other members as some shots flying in this direction for some reason. So the one man there isn't actually getting killed. Interesting that it was able to actually hit that one guy. It is wooden though, so I mean bullets will pierce, but it's kind of strange. Anyways. So we do see the Volks Grenadiers and the other Storm Pilot squad coming up on a flank there on that Universal Carrier. The Volks Grenadiers inside the house managing to delay and withstand as much as they could, denying that territory for as long as they were capable of doing so. Vickers machine gun now set up. Does set itself up behind that sandbag, although it doesn't actually provide any cover because it hasn't been finished. So it's just rickety there and falling apart. Storm Pilot is moving to the right-hand side. Rocket and Warfare getting built for Siberian, trying to have some way to quickly take down that Universal Carrier. And when it's setting cloak and gets a shot off on it, most of the time it can actually take it out. So we'll see how that works out. But for now, we're 3 Volks and the Storm Pios. Arnolaz does take up, gets himself the platoon command post, and is going to proceed to get a Royal Engineer squad for now.
A new engineer section is waiting for orders. Waiting for orders.
Universal Carrier covering the right-hand side, while the Vickers machine gun covers the center. Storm Pilot squad and Volks Grenadiers backing off, and we have a little bit of a standoff here in the center, as nobody really is pushing to harass each other. Volks Grenadier squad popping inside the house to get sight range, probably spotting the MG there at maximum range, but not actually doing anything. Can we actually see that? Yeah, he can't see it. Look at that. There you go. But not in range to shoot at it, so yeah. Gotta wait a while. Mechanized Regiment headquarters coming down for Siberian. Interesting opening decision. We don't see that much often nowadays, at least. Not that it's bad or anything, it's just most of the times that we've seen this, Battle Group headquarters is the first thing that goes down because people like what it has to offer, and my rickety chair has a lot to say apparently. And also, well, because of the healing, which will no longer be automatic if the changes on the balance preview go through. Ooh, Storm Pio stepping off of the point on the right-hand side, not capping it, which is unfortunate, but doesn't really do too much. We see a Bullforce going down for Arnolaz right there in the center. Volks Grenadier squad popping up and trying to take it down as it gets built. However, I don't think they'll be able to take it down. Or maybe they will. Rocket and Warfare is taking some shots at it. The Royal Engineers trying as best they can here to finish the building. It looks like they will be able to finish the building in time. Is that enough to
Emplacement under attack.
keep it alive? Oh, with a quick brace structure there by arnolaz. It looks like that actually will happen. Rakuten Warfare does get a shot off at the Universal Carrier. Unfortunately, though, with the flamethrower now upgraded on the Universal Carrier, it is forced to retreat, and both the Bofors and the Universal Carrier itself stays alive. So that's pretty good for Arnolaz. He has selected his doctrine, and that is the Royal Engineer Regiment. Now, you know, this would previously be what was considered, you know, the emplacement doctrine, because it has the standfast, which allows them to automatically repair. And I think there's something else here. Maybe not, but, you know, it is, you know, the one kind of themed that way. But, of course, you know, the new doctrine came in and replaced it. But, well, it's still there. Bofors is still there. Doesn't really have much of a shot in the front, but, of course, that is protection for it. And it is able to cover either direction. And of course, any infantry that even dares to get anywhere near the Bofors is just going to get torn apart. Looks like shots are flying there from the Bofors as it tries to break the hedge slowly but steadily. So, nice little idea there by Arnolaz, not bad. So basically, laying down the Bofors as close to the front line as possible.
Ready to set a command vehicle and call in recon support.
Under the cover of the hedge, and then clearing the hedge slowly but steadily to, you know, be able to get shots off. However, Siberian kind of doing the same thing here and helping him out a little bit, helping himself out as well. Just taking shots at the hedge, breaking it, and maybe trying to get some shots off at range at the Bofors, so we'll see. Anyways, we do have a Lux on the field for Siberian, as he did get the Mechanized Regiment headquarters. Moving up, trying to tear apart the infantry and even make it maybe the Universal Carrier. However, the Lux decides to turn itself around and face the Bofors. The Bofors doing quite a bit of damage to it and almost destroying the Lux. Going to be forced to back off and get some heals going. Volksgrenadier Squad, though, moves itself right into range of that Bofors, getting torn apart. Shrek does fly at it. The Rakuten Warfare behind is trying to do as best it can to deal damage to the Bofors itself. However, a barrage going off on the Rakuten Warfare is going to be clearing it here as it doesn't move out of the way, and down goes the squad, getting left there out on the field. Second Volksgrenadier Squad also forced to retreat, being forced to retreat through the arc of fire there of the Bofors. We see the Lux moving up after getting a little bit of repairs going, managing to take out that Universal Carrier, so at the very least, he manages to take that out. Arnolaz did take out the Rakuten Warfare, which is not completely horrible here for Siberian, because it's still there on the field, hasn't gotten stolen, so he can easily recover the weapon. So, while the squad was wiped, you know, for weapon teams, if you don't lose the weapon, it's not the end of the world, right? Just a little bit of manpower there that you have to
The enemy are attacking an emplacement.
spend. So anyways, Volksgrenadiers recover the Rakuten Warfare, and then the Rakuten Warfare gets torn apart here by the Vickers. We see the Lux moving up, getting shots flying at the... oof, nasty shot there by the AT gun by Arnolaz, nailing the Lux, destroying its main gun and forcing it to move the hell out of the way. Rakuten Warfare does end up getting stolen here by Arnolaz. Is he going to be able to make it out of there? Well, the Volksgrens are going to try their best. We see Panzer Grenadiers, well, not Panzer Grenadiers, Storm Pioneers, sorry, taking some shots, trying to take it out, but away it goes, and Arnolaz makes it out with a Rakuten Warfare of his own, and the AT guns. I mean, we have two AT guns on the field, so armor is going to be a very difficult approach here for Siberian now, as the infantry will be torn apart by the Bofors. And of course, with the placement of the Bofors, he has coverage of the center point, which is currently, you know, decapped, so, you know, not necessarily a continuous control, but this point back here is essentially guarded here because, well, there's a line on the field now. Definitely no chance of him even getting this at any point, since there's a Mechanized Regiment headquarters nearby, and we now see a supply half-truck moving in that direction as well. So the map will be split essentially across the middle, but, you know, still a tough position to break. Second Bofors coming into play for Arnolaz, so going SimCity-like. Usually, though, you do see the mortar pit getting built instead. This might be a little bit too heavy on investment here for arnolaz. Let's see if it pays off, or if it backfires. Really, the key is actually keeping the Bofors alive. If they fall quickly without being able to do too much damage, they, essentially not worth it. But we'll see. Anyways, shots flying from the Bofors, just taking down that hedge in the front, making sure that this Bofor doesn't have anything blocking its line of sight. And then we see the forward assembly getting built behind that. The Bofors here at the front, just tearing apart the infantry as it tries to push forward. Second Rakuten Warfare on the field for Siberian, just trying to get some shots off at range, trying to clear out the structure itself. However, again, it gets left there a little bit too long, and it goes down. And, yeah, it's not working out.
Our headquarters are under fire.
So the forward assembly goes down in the middle of these two weapons, which allows the suppressive barrage to be activated on the Bofors without needing anybody inside them. Which was an unfortunate thing that I, haven't played British that much, and I thought that that ability was tied to the doctrine, but it's not. It's just a forward assembly that actually does that. Still, though, it's a nice thing to have there. So, anyways, let's take a look at what else is going on. Not much here. Usually when you have matches like this where emplacements go down for the Brits, it is a pretty slow game because, well, the British have invested and dedicated a lot of resources just simply to holding territory on the map. So most of the time they're not going to be moving out to capture a lot of territory. Yeah, they will eventually, or periodically, move out and capture as much territory as they can. But, they're basically entrenching themselves here. Literally, because we actually see trenches going down now. So yeah, I'll be able to set up MGs all over the place. The Rakuten Warfers. I think Rakuten Warfers can actually go into trench, right? I mean, it is a weapon that can go into buildings, so I'm going to assume that it can. The Lux trying to probe over here on the right-hand side, getting some hits flying there at the stolen Rakuten Warfer. It is able to reinforce because of the forward assembly, so...
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take one of our points.
Yeah, they actually can. So yeah, Rakuten Warfer could actually put itself inside a trench, which would make it a cool little ambush there. However, it does have cloak, so as long as it's not shooting at infantry, which it's not, you can just leave it out there in the open. So center map is where we're going to see the engagement going on. Incendiary grenade getting tossed inside the trench, burning the Vickers members alive. Rakuten Warfer moving out of the way. Shots flying from the Shrek, trying to eliminate that trench. They probably will. But that's not that big of a loss anyways. Artillery barrages going into the house, collapsing that house in the center, so making it less of a nuisance here for arnolaz, as Siberian won't be able to pop inside. Usually, because of this cluster up, is why you become very, very susceptible to artillery fire. So, anyways, standfast getting popped, regularly here for the buildings. There are, of course, Royal Engineers nearby that could help out with the repairs, but they're automatic and they cost munitions, so may as well. But you can see here the effect that it has on the battlefield. Arnolaz is pretty much pinned and clumped up in his little corner of the map. He's, like I said, essentially just fighting to try and control that center victory point, while Siberian is just simply, controlling most of the map and has a lot more resources. I mean, 38 fuel versus 20. I mean, it is a significant difference. The only thing is whether he can break the line often enough and hold it long enough that he can bleed those points a little bit quicker. Siberian has selected his own doctrine, and that is the Special Operations Doctrine. We'll see if the Panther comes into play later on. But for now, we do have that battle group headquarters up and running in the north. Did get set up with a forward retreat point, so that it's a different retreat location. essentially shifting the line so that instead of fighting here, he's fighting right here. Because otherwise everybody retreats in that direction and it just makes it a little bit more awkward. Still though, arnolaz managing to cover that center point. He's able to stay there for quite a while. Can the Royal Engineers actually repair this thing? Yeah, they could. They're not doing that, but they could. Where are they anyways? Back here. Anyways. So the Rakuten Warfare in the center, getting torn apart there by the Lux. The Lux taking some damage here as the AT guns are set up to stop it. Lux won't be able to penetrate too far in. It's just going to be able to poke around on the edges. Vickers machine gun popped out of the trench, which is a scary and harrowing situation as they also leave their dead bodies behind while still being alive. So it must be unsettling for anybody to see their own dead body in front of them and then still being alive. So, you know, they have to develop some interesting coping mechanisms. So arnolaz finally deciding to move out to the right-hand side and try and capture a little bit of territory himself, using that cloaked Rakuten Warfare to do so. Not a bad idea, considering, well, that in cloaks, so it's able to move into view of any enemies that might be around and, you know, do what it do. Mortar emplacement has gone down for arnolaz, fortifying this location even more. Positioned a little bit forward, because it's essentially right there on the line, if you look at the line in this way instead. But, I mean, it's still pretty covered, so should be fine. Vickers machine gun in the center, not allowing much to happen here. We do, of course, have for Siberian the, this thing, the Stuka, coming into play. That is to be expected, essentially. You know, what better way to deal with static targets than just, you know, bombarding them, because they're not going to move. Rakuten Warfare slowly moving over to the right-hand side, trying to capture a little bit of territory slowly but steadily. And we see the Stuka barrage going off, hitting the structures, which get braced, but not really what you're aiming to do, destroying the structures with the Stuka. What you're aiming for is this over here, doing damage on the infantry and blasting them, because, well, since there's a lot of emplacement, there's naturally going to be a lot of infantry nearby defending them. And, well, you saw the effect right there. The AT gun took a hit, the Vickers machine gun took a bigger hit, and pretty much everybody was forced to retreat. Infantry section moving over on the left-hand side, trying to recover a little bit of territory. Victory points, though, 341 to 479 in the lead for arnolaz. So, see how that works out. The Rakuten Warfare keep getting killed for Siberian, though. There's now 2 in the possession of arnolaz. The Lux pushing forward on the left-hand side, going to be running down that infantry section. The Rakuten Warfare are turning themselves around to try and face the attacking tank. Should be able to get a shot off on its rear. Manages to get one shot off, but that is not going to be enough. The infantry section is going to get chased down here by the Lux. The Lux is going to try and take them down. Can he actually finish them off? Oof, almost takes them out, but does not manage to seal the deal. That was a nice little maneuver there by Siberian. The Stuka should be coming into play rather soon. 20 seconds from now, should be able to barrage again. It moves out of the way and try to do what it can. And back over here, we have quite a bit. Now, this can be set as a forward retreat point so that everybody moves back here, but right now, arnolaz does not seem to be interested in doing that. And on the right-hand side, that Rakuten Warfare that got stolen, just being utilized to capture a little bit of territory. Folks Grenadiers in the center going to get torn apart by the Bofors. Not even sure why they're staying there. Stuka barrage flying. Oof, nasty hit there on the AT gun. Managing to get an additional hit there on the mortar, but again, it's not going to take out the mortar because of that automatic repair. Shrek is flying at the mortar, but that's not what it needs to be doing. It needs to be taking out the infantry and the AT gun, trying to remove as many resources as possible from their opponent. the infantry section moving up to fight the Volksgrenadiers. The AT gun again got left there on the field, which is unfortunate there for Siberian. Not going to be able to break these structures, especially when they're braced and being automatically repaired. And the Lux apparently went down at some point, and I missed that, so I'm going to have to... Wait, did I miss it? No, it died right there. Didn't miss it. I looked straight at it, I just never acknowledged it. But yeah, I mean, there are other AT guns, so it would have died. This thing probably got the kill, yeah.
The enemy are attacking an emplacement.
It's unfortunate there for Siberian, so... having a lot of trouble and not really finding a way to break that siege. Does go ahead and get himself that command Panther tank. Panther, you know, should easily be able to stand in front of those Bofors and withstand that damage. However, the main issue is those AT guns. So, like I said, if he had targeted one AT gun, at least one would be down. Still, though, there's Blackett Warfare that are still left on the field that haven't been addressed. So, it's a very uphill battle here for a tank. So, needs to move out of the way. Even just doing that drive-by, he manages to get himself shot up, down to half health, and now needs to move out of the way. Victory points down to 292 for Siberian. It's a slow trickle. I mean, at this stage, nobody's going to get triple capped because of, well, all these defenses that are already set up. Infantry support gun on the field. Could actually do with moving up a little bit further forward, maybe, and attacking at closer range, bombarding into this constantly, just being a nuisance. But it wouldn't be able to kill any of that, and I guess it risks itself getting shot back, so probably why not. Volksgrenadier squad on the right-hand side. Not having too much luck. Stuka barrage into the center. Managing to impact
Not crude. Not anymore.
something. Was that a Vickers machine gun crew, maybe? I think it was. You can see the pieces of them, and I don't see him having a Vickers, so I'm assuming that's what's going to happen.
Vehicle promotion is available.
So Siberian managing to capture that center point once again. Pushing back, the Panther coming up for another drive-by. Going to be running itself again straight into the arc of fire of a lot of AT weaponry. AT guns in all directions, just shooting at it. And before it dies or anything happens, the game comes to a close. Presumably by Siberian throwing in the towel. Maybe out of frustration? I mean, he wasn't really anywhere near death and hadn't lost much, but I'm assuming maybe that Panther was going to die already, so I don't know. Anyways, weird play, but, well, there you have it. Anyways, guys, I hope you at least enjoyed the game. If you have any positive or negative remarks, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.